With football around the corner, time to start building up that bankroll. And we want to help by slashing the cost of all daily picks packages priced at $25 or more, including 5% best bets through the end of July. This amazing promotion runs from Tuesday, July 12th to midnight on Sunday, July 31st, and drops the pricing down to $25 daily packages for $12.50, 29 daily combo packages for $14.50, and $35 5% best bets for $17.50. But even better, this is the perfect time to take advantage of our one-day all-access pass. This package locks in the handicapper of your choice for one whole day for only $39, including when they have a 5% top play that usually sells for $35. But during our 50% slash promotion, you get a one-day all-access for only $19.50. We know this business is loaded with competitors and copycats, and we are very proud and extremely excited to be one of, if not, the premier sports betting information provider in North America. Our special discount pricing goes live on Tuesday, runs through the end of the month, does not require a coupon, and is available just by going to your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo Handicappers homepage right now.
Welcome, MLB First Pitch. I'm not Drew Martin. Steve Merrill filling in for Drew Martin today on Friday, July 29th. But this is MLB First Pitch on WagerTalk TV every Monday through Friday live around 1:50 Eastern. And then, of course, archived 24/7 for your viewing pleasure. And don't forget about the app, now live. An iPhone, Android, Fire TV, Roku, lots of different ways to find us now on different devices. Check out the WagerTalk TV app, which is in app stores around the world as we speak. I am Steve Merrill, once again joined by Dave Koken and Jimmy Adams, also from WagerTalk.com on this Friday. And we're going to look at 3 spotlight games for Friday Night Baseball, and more importantly, get to some additional best bets at the end of the show from each of us. But first, Dave, let's start off with an early evening game at 6:40 Eastern Friday. Little NL East battle between the New York Mets and Drew Martin's Miami Marlins. New York at Miami. Mets a slight road favorite in this one, Dave. What you looking at?
I don't know if I'd want to claim the Miami Marlins.
They're Drew's team, man.
Right now. Yeah, well, I guess we'll call him a loyal fan then. Well, look, you've got Alcantara on the mound for Miami, so it's unlikely the Mets are going to do a lot of scoring tonight. You've got Bassett on the mound for the Mets, who's been more good than bad, and the Marlins, not exactly a strong offensive team, and one of their best weapons has been speed. And they don't have that now because Chisholm and Birdie both gotten hurt. So they're not stealing bases. They're just a bad baseball team right now. The Marlins probably going to be selling off some pieces over the weekend. And this is something that, to me, applies to baseball in general this weekend. The trade deadline's August 2nd. I think you're going to see a lot of chaos this weekend, and I think there's a distraction factor out there. So for myself, pretty much everything I do this weekend is going to be small. For instance, tonight I have 4 games. They're all 2% plays. I'm not going to risk anything big this weekend. As far as this game goes, I mean, the first 500 is 3. I don't want to play under 3, but that's the only way I'd go. I don't think the Marlins are going to do much against Bassett. Nobody does much against Alcantara. If you don't get any unearned runs, good chance this is 1-1 early or something along those lines. I'll lean to the under. Not a game I'm betting. I do have some action tonight, but not on this game.
Yeah, Jimmy Adams, Dave mentioned that low 3 for the first 5. The game total pretty low as well, 6.5 under that key number of 7. We talk about 7 and 9 being key numbers because games can't end in a 3-3 tie. It's going to land on 7 if that happens. Yet playing under 6.5s blindly for the past decade has actually been a very good moneymaker. In fact, Ralph Michaels posted that chart last year and gave me the numbers as well. I mentioned in one of my weekend videos. Going into last year, if you had blindly played under at all 6.5, 7 of the previous 8 years, you'd made money overall. It's a little different now. We're seeing more of them because baseball's become so low scoring. But what's your thought, Jimmy, on this game, side or total? Mets a slight $1.20 favorite on the road. Total, once again, a very low 6.5.
Yeah, so I agree with Dave that it'll most likely be a low-scoring affair. I'm going to side with the Marlins in this one, though. Anytime I can get Alcantara at a plus price like this, it's definitely worth a look. That being said, the value's gone. So the line's been bet so far down that you're not going to get much value, but you're still getting a plus price or around even money with Miami. Mets coming off that emotional Subway series, so we'll see if that has an effect. They had a day off, so it probably won't bother them too much. But still, I mean, that was rocking at Citi Field in Queens. Chris Bassett's been throwing the ball well lately, but Sandy's numbers are unbelievable. 1.81 ERA, 133 Ks, 0.90 WHIP. I mean, the guy's allowed 4 total runs in his last 4 starts combined, and he goes deep into game in the process, which is going to be big tonight because the Marlins bullpen got worked pretty hard. So he's going to want to go deep into the game again. He's got a WAR on the season. Your front runner, Cy Young, for a very good reason. Bassett, he's kind of got a little bit of a home road split with his ERA, 4.67 road up from 3.72 overall. Been much better at home. Marlins off a nice come from behind victory yesterday and have now won 2 of 3. So we'll see if they can keep that rolling a little bit. I'll be on the Miami side tonight.
Yeah, one thing to mention also about this game is don't forget the Mets are coming off a big 2-game sweep against the Yankees at home on Tuesday and Wednesday. They did have yesterday off on Thursday, though, so we'll see if that kind of keeps them focused in this one. Otherwise, you can make a case it might be a little bit of a letdown spot as well for the New York Mets. Joe Ranieri's New York Mets. All right, Jimmy, I'm going to stick with you here, and we're going to look at another game in the National League, and this is the Cubs against the Giants. We talked about this yesterday, and this was a team that was red hot in the Chicago Cubs. They finally lost, had their 6-game win streak snapped. Drew Martin called them the hottest team in baseball when I was doing the show with Brian Leonard yesterday, but it did not work out for the Cubbies. And the coldest team in baseball, the Giants, who were on an 0-7 run, finally got back on track. So, Jimmy, I'll throw it to you. Giants won 4-2 last night. This is the second of a 4-game series in San Fran. Do the Giants keep it going tonight? Only had 7 hits again. They've had 7 hits or less in every game, all 8 since the All-Star break. Thing is, the Cubs only had 3 hits last night. So what are you looking at in this one, Cubs and Giants?
Yeah, so I was on the Cubs last night, and I'm not happy about it. I mean, we got the most routine pop fly you've ever seen to a third baseman. It's right to him. No one's around him. He falls down, misses the ball. We've got a swinging bunt and a bloop single from the Giants, and that's pretty much your game. The Giants, they didn't really show anything offensively last night, and the Cubs, have 2 errors and basically give away the game. That being said, Chicago didn't do anything offensively either. So 2 teams that are not exactly screaming bet on right now. We got the Cubs that are 5-1 since the break, but off that showing yesterday, I can't get back to the window with them tonight. And then the Giants 1-7 since the Marcus Stroman off 3 straight outings of limited damage. He didn't go deep into games, but 1-0 earned runs allowed in his last 3 starts. Cubs bullpen not great. And then I'll speak on Alex Cobb for a second because Cobb has been the unluckiest pitcher in all of baseball. I mean, Cobb's got a 4.26 ERA but a 2.94 FIP. He's got a career high ground ball rate at 61.2%. So I think in the second half, at some point, you're going to start to see things go more in Cobb's favor. The question is, do the Giants have the offense to back him? Not for me tonight. The only way I could look at this game is on the under.
Yeah, interesting about Alex Cobb, Dave, being an unlucky pitcher. I want to get your thoughts on that. And you can almost say Stroman may be a little better as well than his 3-9 team record. He's got a 4.4 ERA, but a solid 1.15 WHIP, which I think is a better indicator overall. What are your thoughts, Dave Koken, on these 2 pitchers, Stroman and Cobb tonight, Cubs-Giants?
Well, I don't disagree on the luck factor as far as Cobb goes, but there just hasn't been any breakthrough there. And sometimes when guys are unlucky, they just stay unlucky. And I think that's kind of the case with Cobb right now. I don't see much of an edge on the mound either way here. I think Stroman and Cobb are fairly even. I know the Cubs didn't do much offensively last night, but they've been pretty good lately. And the Giants have not. Giants are playing bad baseball right now. And to me, it's difficult to justify them as a favorite of any substance. I think the Cubs are live at the price tonight. They're one of the small plays I made this evening in Major League Baseball. I don't have anything big tonight, but I took the plus money with the Cubs in this game. I don't see why they can't bounce back. could make the argument they could have won last night were it not for the defensive gaffes that Jimmy talked about. And I think the Cubs have a good chance to pull this one out. So I'll take the plus money with Stroman and the Cubs.
Yeah, and Dave's getting about $1 plus $1.25 right now with the Cubs, who have still won, once again, 6 out of 7. Giants have still lost 7 of their last 8, so we don't want to read too much into last night's one-game result. This is the best of 4 series still. Let's look at one more spotlight game here, and then we'll get to some best bets here to end the show. We're going to look at an American League game now, Dave, and I'll stick with you. Cleveland Guardians, Brian Leonard's Cleveland Guardians against the Tampa Bay Rays. And, hey, look, we had Brian on on the show with me yesterday on Thursday, and we talked about Cleveland, and Brian said he's getting excited. They're making a run. He thinks they got a chance at the playoffs. So I'll get your thoughts on that, and more importantly, I'll get your thoughts on who wins this game tonight.
Well, they do have a chance to make the playoffs. I don't think there's much question about that. As far as tonight goes, this is not a real good situation for Cleveland. Shane Bieber's on the mound, and we know that Shane Bieber is not the Shane Bieber that won a Cy Young Award a few years ago. The velocity just hasn't gotten back to where it was. He's still capable of throwing it really well, but it doesn't happen on an every game basis anymore. The Guardians are facing a lefty tonight in Springs, and that's been the Waterloo for this Cleveland team. They do not hit lefties on the road. For the season, their WRC plus on the road against lefties is 66. That's pretty bad. And when you look at their lineup, you can kind of see why. This is definitely a lineup that's more favorable against right-handers. They're facing Springs, who's done well for Tampa. I think better than expected. I'm not going to suggest that I thought Springs was going to have this kind of breakthrough, but he's pitched good ball for the team. No question about that. His form hasn't been quite as good lately, but he's still a lefty at home against a Cleveland team that doesn't hit lefties on the road. And some other notes on Cleveland, just offensively in general, they've kind of cooled off. They were sizzling, but that doesn't last for long, and now they're starting to go in the other direction. Tampa at home against righties, pretty good. I think they might have a pitching edge here, and you're certainly not getting robbed on the price. And plus, there's the travel factor. Cleveland had to play in Boston last night and now has to go south to Tampa. I think the Rays on the right side in this game. It's another game that made my card as a small play. I'll take the Tampa Bay Rays.
Here, as you said, just $1.15 or so favorite, and it's because, Jimmy, Tampa hasn't been playing good baseball. They bit me on Tuesday. I liked him with McClellan. If you told me before the game that I was going to get my starting pitcher to give up only 2 hits in 7 innings, the Orioles starter would get up 10 hits in 5 innings, I would have liked it even more. So luckily I didn't know that ahead of time. It was 1/3 of an inning in the 8th that got the Orioles that win. Tampa did bounce back to win 6-4 on Wednesday. But they've still dropped 5 of 6. But this does look like maybe a decent setup here to get back on track, especially if Cleveland has a little bit of a hangover after that tough 4-game series in Boston. What's your thought on this one, Guardians at Rays?
Yeah, and to agree with both of y'all, kind of a bit of what Dave said. Shane Bieber, just not the same guy, and he's really been knocked around lately. 12 runs, given up 3 starts. Just last time out alone, you look at the numbers, 6 earned runs. He gives up 3 home runs in that start to the White Sox. And reports leaking now could possibly be traded. So we heard Dave say it earlier in the show. There's a lot of guys that are going to have other things on their mind about being traded, the next week or so. So, Tampa's struggling offensively. They have a talented lineup. I'm kind of waiting for them to break out of this slump that they're in. And I think they may do it tonight versus struggling Bieber. Jeffrey Springs continues to pitch well. He doesn't go deep into games, but the stuff is definitely there. And the Rays have won 6 the last 7 times he's taken them. A couple recent trends. The Guardians are 0-7 in their last 7 meetings in Tampa, and they're 7-19 in the last 26 meetings overall. So I'll agree, and I'll have a small wager on the Rays this evening.
Here we go. Jimmy Adams and Dave Koken both leaning towards the Rays here, minus $1.15 to get back on track in Tampa tonight on Friday. And before we get to some free best bets here for the show, just a reminder, 3 days remaining in the month of July. And the reason that's important is because that means there's 3 days left to get every best bet at WagerTalk.com for half price, 50% off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Each and every capper, including myself, Steve Merrill, Jimmy Adams, Dave Koken, and everybody else at WagerTalk.com. Great time to get some baseball best bets and all other sports, by the way, for this weekend as well Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a 50% half-price discount on all best bets, including 5%ers from every capper this weekend only at WagerTalk.com. And Dave Koken, football is right around the corner. We have preseason August 4th, less than a week away. College football 1 month away. You're a number one all-time profit leader in college football, so people better be getting excited about that. And let us know what you got going on at WagerTalk.com for Friday and this weekend. A little bit about that college football as well. And also maybe a free best bet here for the show.
Yeah, not a lot in baseball this weekend. So there's some guys at WagerTalk going to be promoting some really good stuff. Take advantage of their stuff. I don't know that you want to be – I'm just not selling anything big this weekend until the trade deadline comes. In baseball, I'm going to be ultra conservative in terms of bankroll risk. So the plays I made tonight are all 2% plays, and I suspect I'm going to keep it that way until August 2nd and the dust settles. But I am getting very excited about college football. A lot of work being done right now as far as getting involved with over and under win props and the week 1 schedule. Now, I haven't put anything up yet, but I would anticipate in the next several days I'm going to have a few plays. I'm forming some definite opinions that way. And so, what I'll promo here is the college football package. I think it's $5.99 for the whole season. And I think it's a good investment. I expect to do well this year, and I'm ahead of the curve. I really buckled down early in spring this year, and I think I'm further ahead than I've ever been in terms of ideas for the coming season. So I didn't have a great year last year, but my track record in college football is pretty much as good as it gets, and I hope you'll give that consideration for signing up for the season package, and you'll get everything I have all year long in college football. As far as the game tonight, I talked about a couple I liked, and I'll give you one more. The Rangers and Angels, this is a play out the string, August and September coming up for these two teams. Neither one is going to be in the playoffs. But I think at this point the Rangers have a little more to play for. They're building, and they're heading in the right direction. The Angels, they're not. They're a bad baseball team right now. They did manage to pull out a win. I think they've won 3 of their last 4, which by Angels standards at this point is a tremendous hot streak. But I like Texas a little bit in this ball game. I think they've got an edge on the mound with Perez over Sandoval. I like Sandoval, but he's not pitching well right now. He's had some command issues. And Perez, keep expecting him to fall off the cliff, but it hasn't happened. He's had the occasional bad outing, but more good than bad with Perez. The Rangers are clearly a better team against lefties than the Angels are against lefties. And there's just nothing to like about the Angels right now. I know they're going to win some games, but the Trout news isn't good. I don't think we're going to see it for the rest of the season, to be honest with you. There's even some mention. I saw John Heyman tweeting that the Angels are even listening. I don't think anything will happen, but they're actually listening to offers for Ohtani. I think they know that after next season, Ohtani's probably going to be gone someplace, so maybe that's not as far-fetched as it sounds like. I don't want any part of this Angels team. I think the Rangers have a bit of an edge tonight, and the price is right. So I'll take the Texas Rangers. It is a 2% play for me tonight, and I'll use it as the best bet here on the show.
Yeah, Rangers minus 101 to minus 105, slightly above that even money, slight underdog price still with the Rangers from Dave Koken. And by the way, he said he didn't have a great college football season. He's still number one all-time profits at WagerTalk.com in college football. So even more of a reason to check him out. And he releases plays. When he sees value, he puts them out. You get them right away. That's another reason that $5.99 is a no-brainer. I'll disagree. It's not good. It's a great value, Dave, because you get your information the minute you release it to your subscribers. I'm going to get to Jimmy Adams here in a moment for a free play as well. First, I'm going to give out one here for this show on Friday. Let's look at a free baseball play in the late night card for Friday, July 29th, a game that was just a bit outside from making the cut. And that's because I do have another strong best bet, a 4% best bet for my personal clients at WagerTalk.com Friday night. And don't forget, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the last 3 days of July here, your last chance to get a 50% half-price discount on every best bet at WagerTalk.com, including that strong big 4% best bet I've got tonight in MLB. If you want to take it a step further, though, I am putting up through this weekend only a $2.99 package for the rest of baseball, including the playoffs and the World Series. That's the next 3.5 months for just $2.99. It's only $500. You must have promo code MLB299. All the information on my page right now, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. Okay, late night play that just missed the cut tonight. I'd look at the under 7.5 between the Cubs and Giants. Cubs had their 6-game win streak snapped last night on Thursday in a 4-2 low-scoring game, a loss against San Fran. Giants have still now lost 7 of their last 8 as they had not won a game since the All-Star break. But more importantly, even with that win last night, the Giants still have 7 hits or less in every one of their 8 games since the All-Star break. Not a good offensive team right now. The reason they won last night is because the Cubs are an even worse offensive team. Don't let the 2 runs fool you. They should have had even less. They only had 3 hits in the entire game. They've had 7 hits or less in 3 of their last 5 games. 2 teams are not hitting the ball well. I look for a low-scoring game. And I think 2 pitchers are actually a little bit better, Stroman and Cobb, than their overall stats this season. So we get 2 underrated pitchers, 2 sluggish offenses, slumping offenses, cold offenses right now. And we get a nice total as well. 7's a very key number, so I love playing under 7.5 when possible. Cubs, Giants, under 7.5 minus $1.15. Stroman and Cobb under the total. Friday night, late night, 10:15 Eastern. Don't forget, a strong best bet, half price for Friday, and also that $2.99 special for the rest of the season. MLB 299 is the promo code. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. All right, let's finish it off here on the show. Jimmy Adams, WagerTalk.com. Jimmy, give us another free best bet that you're looking at for the show for Friday night.
Yeah, so first of all, things have been good overall in the season. You know, we're 16 with our last 25 percenters. We're picking around 63% for since mid-May. We are in a bit of a slump right now, so I don't have any packages up. I'm kind of taking the day to regroup. A lot of good handicappers. You can get packages, get Dave's package, get Steve's package. Go to WagerTalk and grab one of their packages. And hopefully I'll come back with some strong winners this weekend. For the free play, I'm going back to the Marlins. It's not that often we get Sandy Alcantara at a plus price. Even though the line has been down, I still saw some plus 110s prior to coming on the show, and I think it's worthy of a play. Went down his stats earlier. We talked about Chris Bassett and how his numbers are worse on the road, and they're coming off that emotional Subway series. So give me the Marlins tonight at home. We'll see if they can keep things going, and that'll be today's free play.
Jimmy Adams says the Marlins is a slight home dog plus 110 is worth a look. And just a quick note, Jimmy, by the way, said he maybe has cooled off. He's still 58-34, 63% all sports the past 2 months. So not a bad way to cool off to be 24 games above 500 over 2 months. All right, let's recap the show here. Once again, these are the free best bets for the show. Don't forget to get all official best bets at WagerTalk.com. Myself, Steve Merrill, I'm looking at Cubs, Giants under 7.5 minus 115. Jimmy Adams likes the home dog, Miami Marlins plus $1.10. And Dave Koken likes the road dog, the Rangers, at a slight minus 101 price, the Texas Rangers for Dave Koken. Once again, 50% discount, all best bets for these last 3 days of July, starting Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from every capper every day at WagerTalk.com. For Jimmy Adams, for Dave Koken, I am Steve Merrill. Thanks for joining us. Drew Martin will be back on Monday, every Monday through Friday at 1:50 Eastern, right here on Wager Talk TV. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like the show, and also make sure you hit subscribe. We're so close to 100,000 subscribers right here on Wager Talk TV. And leave us some comments below. Let us know your thoughts on the weekend series, your play on and play against teams. And don't forget to download the Wager Talk TV app, available in all app stores for all devices right now. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the games. We'll talk to you again on Monday.
With football around the corner, time to start building up that bankroll. And we want to help by slashing the cost of all daily picks packages priced at $25 or more, including 5% best bets through the end of July. This amazing promotion runs from Tuesday, July 12th to midnight on Sunday, July 31st, and drops the pricing down to $25 daily packages for $12.50, $29 daily combo packages for $14.50, and $35 5% best bets for $17.50. But even better, this is the perfect time to take advantage of our one-day all-access pass. This package locks in the handicapper of your choice for one whole day for only $39, including when they have a 5% top play that usually sells for $35. But during our 50% slash promotion, you get a one-day all-access for only $19.50. We know this business is loaded with competitors and copycats, and we are very proud and extremely excited to be one of, if not, the premier sports betting information provider in North America. Our special discount pricing goes live on Tuesday, runs through the end of the month, does not require a coupon, and is available just by going to your favorite Wager Talk or Sports Memo Handicappers homepage right now.